Okay,
You
so
sure that's a good idea with me?
that's okay. What's your political party?
Conservative.
Conservative. Okay. And so who are some of your favorite politicians?
Well, I'm not sure anybody really has one. I loved Ronald Reagan. I thought he was brilliant uh, in the way he dealt with problems and so forth. Um, I respected JFK, even though he wasn't basically from my party. Um, if I had been old enough, I would have voted for him, though. I thought he was a good man.
So what was the first presidential election that you could vote for a president? Who was
Well,
it?
it would have been, let's see, I think we had to be 21 back then, didn't we? I don't even remember. I guess it would have been, oh, well, it would have been right after, well, Johnson, I guess, when Johnson ran for re-election.
Okay.
I didn't vote for him. I voted for the other guy,
Mm-hmm.
whoever he was. But I can remember back a little bit back when I was 8 or 9, 10, 11, back, the late Eisenhower years. Obviously, I never voted
Right.
back then, but I did like Ronald Reagan. Not many others as presidents. I mean, there's been local politicians
Mm-hmm.
over the years that I thought were okay.
Do you know who your parents voted for or supported?
Yes, I do. Every Republican that ever ran for office,
Okay. Good.
regardless
Good to
of
know.
their qualifications.
Okay. So where were you when you heard about the assassination of JFK?
I was third period library
Mm-hmm.
at Mason County Central. I believe that would have been my sophomore year
Okay.
when the news came on, and they kept it on.
Yeah.
That was the end of the school day.
Yeah.
I mean, we stayed in school, but we did no school stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in speakers and back whatever the technology was.
Yeah, they brought it in.
We had it, and I know they hooked up some TVs somehow. I don't remember really whatever. I remember seeing an old black and white one sitting there. Could have been a colored one. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's where I was.
Was there I guess, what was the feel of the school?
Feel, yeah, was kind of unreal.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of quietness. Sympathy for the family.
Mm-hmm.
Worrying about what our nation's, how can you possibly think about assassinating a president?
Right.
And back then too, it didn't really matter what party you were from. Everybody still liked everybody. I mean, like when a national election was over, my dad and whoever, they just went back to work the next morning. That was the end of it.
Yeah, that's how it was when I was a kid too.
I mean, it wasn't like, my dad called up all of his Democrat friends and rubbed it in or
Mm-hmm.
painted their stores or set their buildings on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody watched the election, and when they woke up in the morning, they knew who won them, and they went off to work, and that was the end of it.
Yep.
But we're way beyond that now. So,
what issues do you remember that were in a political sense? Do you remember any issues that?
Well, they always talked about Social Security,
Mm-hmm.
the unemployment. I don't know. War issues, of course. The Bay of Pigs. Going, of course, this is in the 80s, going over in the Mideast with H.W. Bush.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. That's been quite a while now. What, 30 years, maybe 40? I don't even remember. Early 80s, I think.
Yeah.
There was those kind of things. The race to the moon was always huge because everybody supported that. Yeah, pretty much without even a word.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that was the right thing because other countries could be doing it as well. And but that was always a big one, especially like in Congress and getting the funding and yada yada yada. But I think it was a great idea. I wish that later presidents hadn't have just let it go by the wayside. I wish they would have continued, even if they would have continued at a moderate rate. I still think we should have done a flight a year or something.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of just keep the,
momentum. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, just to say we did it and are doing it. And again, it doesn't have to be, like back then in the 60s, 70s when we were spending, ungodly amounts of money building whatever. But I still think we should have been involved with technology and research. And, I wish we wouldn't have had to cut the funding or for all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like President Trump said, he went down to NASA and the runways and everything were in terrible shape. He said grass was growing, just out of control. And so he got money and he reopened it and brought it back to life. And of course, today they're still using it. They just launched one there this morning. So that's always nice.
Yeah.
But I really feel we really blew it.
Yeah.
With space, especially being the first ones there.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're all ahead of us.
Yep. Okay, so some of the stuff that we covered in our class was about Michigan. It's like I said, it's a Michigan history class, but we were talking about Idlewild. Did you have any recollection of that?
Are we on camera?
Yes. We're on camera, so be good.
Yeah, I've been there.
So from what we were taught or what we've learned is that it was opened up by 4 white couples, and it was a place for black people to go and do entertainment, and there were nightclubs and things like that.
That is correct.
And you went there?
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes? Okay. I'm just curious. How about, I think we talked once about Epworth.
Yes.
What was your connection, if any, with that?
Well, we had a cottage at Epworth.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Lone Star Lodge. My grandpa and not sure exactly what year, but we sold it in 94, whatever.
Okay.
Somewhere, maybe a little bit earlier.
But you would use it sometimes for like
Well,
parties and stuff.
I spent lots of weekends up there.
Yeah.
Dances. And of course, we had a lot of friends up there from out of state that I still, communicate with today. Their children.
Yeah, I know that there's a book. It's the Epworth
I
Society book. Yeah.
Somewhere.
I flip through that every now and then just for fun.
Yeah.
They have quite a societal group going on there.
Yeah. It's tight.
Yeah. I babysat in there once, but
you don't go up there not having a few dollars.
You don't go up there if you don't have a reason to get in there either.
Yeah.
You're not getting in the gate.
No. But yeah, I spent lots of time at Epworth.
Okay, so how about Johnny's? You ever go to Johnny's?
We're on camera?
Yes, we're on camera.
Yeah. Every Friday and Saturday night.
For the dancing or for the roller skating or?
Mostly the dancing.
Okay.
And the concerts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember how many concerts I went to, but a lot of those groups that I saw then are still touring,
Yeah.
believe it or not. But yeah, great time.
Yeah, I have a friend that used to hang out there too, and she said it was pretty awesome.
Oh, it was packed, absolutely packed. Every Friday night. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Do you remember the gardens that they had down by the beach? What was the
I do. Rainbow Gardens.
Yeah, did you go there?
Well, can you stop your camera for a minute?